NVIDIA stock price is getting very tight within a pinch trading range. We're currently seeing an indecisive doji candle at the breakout level to end this trading day. Are we going to see that ultimate upside within the next few days, breaking out into a December rally, or are we going to see the bears step up at this key level? My name is Dylan from Dylan Trades. We're going to break down and analyze that technical equation. As always, going first to the weekly to get a very long-term perspective within stock price. Then to get the medium and the long term, we do see the bulls stepping up within an ascending channel profile, leaving a very obvious buy low opportunity. This is a very good opportunity as there has been a pretty healthy pullback with the overall market to pull back to this very strong area of value. Seeing that very big regression within a healthy market, pulling back, flipping 1, 2, 3, 4 red weeks in a row, flipping indecisive, ending the last 2 red weeks with these doji-esque hammer candles, which does show indecision within the market, flipping green with a bullish engulfing. We do have a little wick on top within this current candle structure, but notice how this body does completely engulf that last body of this doji candle. So this is a good look here. This is a very strong opportunity for a red to green reversal, which should lead a couple week push up right back towards these upper levels. Does it seem very appropriate, guys? We did get a very similar phenomenon back around the end of August here, pulling back with 1, 2, 3, 4 with the doji candle to end the last 4 red week. Flip green, you end up chopping around a little bit here, but ultimately push back towards that $195 level, stemming back as low as these lower, $168 levels to begin this rally. So definitely there's a lot of potential here to get that push right back up towards these upper $190, $194 levels, perhaps even testing that psychological $200 level. That will be a very good stable point for the more long-term perspective. I do think stock price will be able to get and test $200. Now, what will be the focal point? Really, what we'll see the sellers attempt to step in for that more long-term double top S scenario around this former high. So, with all that being noted, guys, the weekly does look good for the more long-term perspective. We will check back on this within a couple of weeks, but as of right now, it does appear very good until any rejection from these upper resistance levels. So, with all that being said, we're now on the daily, and straight away, guys, we see that bull flag S scenario. You could just say an outright trading channel, as there's not much of a bull pull to stem this flag, but we're seeing a very tight, compressed lower high, lower low channel, pinching down to the end of the structure where something has to happen. Now the buyers and the sellers are getting very thin before the buyers over the course of the past week have started to flip the trend. I have seen some pretty decent activity here, getting that bullish engulfing wide bar formed with a prior today's day action, then a hammer-esque inverted hammer candle. And as of right now, it does appear that, not the strongest hold to end the day, but typically the way NVIDIA does move, it's going to cluster here for a few days. And whether within the next 3, 4, 5, 6 days, if we can claim over that very obvious breakout level, being in this scenario, that $185 level, you can see a very easy test right back to that $200 level. And that's going to open up a more long-term base for this upper, parabolic activity, which could break over the top of this very obvious ascending channel. We're seeing a lot of nice profiling here. I'll move it to the hourly analysis. The last step in the short term for the next 1, 2, 3 days, where stock price is going to go. And as of right now, we do see the bulls obviously forming that strong presence, marching up towards that breakout level, being this descending trend line, where we have seen a couple big reversions from this level. Granted, one of these reversions was the overall market snapping from negative jobs reports that did, pretty much rug pull a lot of big stocks. And, I know a lot of these big stock names, NVIDIA did have some news things with the filing and what have you. And we're not going to get into that, right? This is a technical channel, but we've clearly seen the stock price get that double bottom, triple bottom S scenario around these 170 lows. Now just pressing, building energy, guys, within this little micro range, just really chipping away, chopping away. Will we continue to chop for the next few days, building energy here, trading sideways within these 185, trending to these 175 levels? Perhaps you could see this happen, but I do think there's a 7 to 8 out of 10 probability. We will see the bulls break out here and push towards $190, $195, and then $200 I do like the hourly analysis. We're clearly seeing that rejection point, which was pretty nasty, immediately getting defended within a very tight trading bid. Typically, this is going to be the spot where NVIDIA going to get a tight hinge up higher and use this trading consolidation for that retest of 185, then getting the breakout to push higher off this daily trading descending channel, guys. Very strong setup here for NVIDIA. It does appear at worst you're going to see a couple days just chopping around. You know, it can do that with the more short-term analysis, but I do think we're going to see the confirmation likely within the next 1 to 3 days. Definitely does appear very strong here for NVIDIA. And something to keep in mind is that the overall market has been flipping a pretty nice trajectory going over to QQQ, which does have a live impact on NVIDIA. We've seen that very strong push up from these lows and this very nice descending trading channel breakout. A little bit delayed here from NVIDIA, but we're likely to see this similar phenomenon. We've seen a very strong week from QQQ to follow, and there is a gap fill to be had on the daily analysis, and that does leave a lot of short-term action for the market. Even if you do pull back a little bit, the buyers are going to push back towards that gap fill at that exact $630 level. So there's a little bit chunk of change here to go for the overall market here to have some positive momentum to go and fill some gaps, make some solid movements, perhaps even take out these upper highs. Same applies with SPY here, guys. So going back to NVIDIA, we're seeing a pretty healthy market environment, which will help NVIDIA here, basing at these very obvious lows to make that nice rally back up to these upper levels. If you guys found any value in the video today, consider dropping a sub and a like. We'll continue to cover and monitor the NVIDIA stock price about 1 to 2 times per week. Have a good one, guys. Take care, trade smart, and